When you connect your computer or your mobile phone or whatever to the internet, you're connected to a service provider which moves the data around a great big mesh network. The ISP sorts out all of the plumbing. We bought telephone lines from BT, put some clever switches behind them that moved information around the globe, which was a novelty in those days. It was the early 90s, and what we did was we were connecting computers within an office using Ethernet. And I saw that the great value of networking would be if we made those connections on longer distances. In the US, because they had big corporations, they were doing connections, corporate networks, from state to state, so wide area networking was starting to take off. But in the UK, there wasn't enough multi-site corporations to justify that sort of networking. So we had to go straight to what's called a public network, where we were connecting different corporations to other corporations rather than within. And so that was the vision we saw, going from the local area network to a public network. It worked. Virtually all our early customers were early adopters. We then started getting a few people who were coming in, having been told by their American suppliers or their American partners that if they wanted to deal with them, they had to have a connection. In the early days of the World Wide Web, there were no users. But the key thing was that marketing departments have lots of discretionary money. So what was happening is the marketing department would buy an internet connection for us, put up some website, and at the same time they'd deploy email. Well, after a couple of months of no one looking at their website, the marketing department became disinterested, but the company had become dependent on email. They couldn't turn us off. And that took through the hiatus of the early days of the World Wide Web. Eventually the World Wide Web became more important. And when I set up Pipex, I said, we're setting up in competition with BT, which was a joke. This massive corporation and us with 30 people setting up to compete with BT. Over the next 8 years, the joke just got funnier. And the reason was that BT was shut down. It wasn't thinking, it wasn't looking forwards. That isn't the case now. If someone develops a novel service or whatever, there is a corporate out there that will jump on you very quickly. You get a lot of money, but you get things like Snapchat and Twitter and things like that. They are consumed very quickly nowadays. Whereas when I was doing it, everyone, you had 2 or 3 years of being able to develop your business before that sort of pressure arrived. That's a big change.
You're probably sitting or standing somewhere in Cambridge watching this on a mobile phone, so we hope these films have inspired you. Collusion would love to see your Cambridge Invents interviews. Maybe you have an invention to share, or you know someone who does. You can use the hashtag Cambridge Invents to share your films with us, and also to tweet us about other Cambridge inventions you'd like us to profile.